danger.
Yeah, the efficiency of...
Are we happier now? That's a no.
Contemplative.
Yeah. A head scratcher?
No.
That's a no. I've seen that before. I've also done that before.
Sure. And Joseph actually won on a 4-card hand in his quarterfinals.
I saw a Searing Spear amongst those 5 cards. This is going to keep. Clifftop Retreat it is. We're underway here in the finals.
It looks like it's 2 Searing Spears and 2 Champion of the Parishes.
They're near Hearth Pilgrims.
Oh, near Hearth Pilgrim, sorry.
Now you're going to see a Farseek here from Brian. Yeah, he's got 2 Searing Spear, 2 near Hearth Pilgrims, and a Restoration Angel. And this is the fear, as you do see a Farseek here from Brian accelerating, can get the Huntmaster range, and if you're trying to think of a best case scenario, I mean, there's a start. So we do see a Cavern of Souls on Human, and now a near Hearth Pilgrim. But again, that card, it kind of needed to be Thalia there, but even if it is Thalia, Brian's already Farseek.
Yeah, it has to be
kind of out of Thalia range.
It has to be turn 2. It's not like Thalia is good at any point.
Yeah. Brian going to take a draw here. Got a couple of Burial Rites in his hand. You see a Clifftop Retreat and a Sunpetal Grove in the front. See if he has a Huntmaster or any of his card manipulation here. You are just going to see a Fiend Hunter take care of the Pilgrim. That's one of the neat things about this deck that we saw earlier with Brad Nelson's match in round 1 of the tournament, and Brian when we had on camera, is that Fiend Hunter plays this nice role of, it's part of the infinite combo in the deck, but it also does a nice job of buying you time.
Fiend Hunter is just excellent against creature decks in general.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you going to Searing Spear that? That's ideal.
Yeah.
If you're Brian, you're just like, okay, perfect. And there's your Avacyn's Pilgrim. Joseph's just going to pass back. So you can see this mulligan to 5, really, really tough for him. And now we are going to see a mulch here from Brian. Woodland Cemetery, Cartel Aristocrat, Grizzly Salvage, and a second Grizzly Salvage. So not the best mulch in the world.
No.
And now we're going to see a Cartel Aristocrat. We see the Woodland Cemetery come in, and Brian will... Is he going to get in there for one? He is.
Wow.
The old Fiend Hunter beats.
The final insult.
Yeah. Yeah. Salt in the face.
So far ahead that we can do that?
Yep.
Brian, you don't have to do them like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like that.
So we're going to see Stomping Ground here from Joseph, coming to play untapped. Go down to 17. Taking a look at Nearhearth Pilgrim, 2 Searing Spears and a Restoration Angel in his hand. So lands are here, but his cards that are very good in the opening turns of the game have they just get worse as every turn goes on.
Yeah.
Champion of the Parish, worse as we go along. Thalia, worse as the game goes along. You do see Nearhearth Pilgrim here. Going to partner up with the Avacyn's Pilgrim. He's just going to pass the turn back.
Yeah, Joseph's aces are very time sensitive. They aren't aces the whole game.
Yeah. You see a second Cartel Aristocrat here from Brian. That effect on the stack. He's going to Searing Spear the Fiend Hunter. Now Brian going to contemplate some things very quickly here. Doesn't seem to mind all that much. Pilgrim's going to come back for Joseph. Nothing to soulbound with, and we'll just pass the turn. Selesnya Charm, the draw for Joseph this turn.
He has Restoration Angel and Searing Spear in his hand, I believe. Oh, sorry, it's a Silverblade Paladin. So you're going to see that partnership there with the Nearhearth Pilgrim. And Pilgrim is just going to come across here. Does have double strike. We'll see this. And
Brian looks happy to sacrifice to give the Aristocrat protection from white. It's going to take down the Pilgrim. The bond will be broken between that and the Silverblade, so Silverblade will be free to partner up with something else moving forward. You do see Brian draw a Stomping Ground for the turn. The question is, does he have anything going on over there?
I think he has an Burial Rites in hand, but no Angel, was my impression. He's got a lot of time. I mean, he's not under too much pressure life total-wise.
Yeah, somehow still at 20, oddly enough.
Oh no, there, yeah. So I mean, with Burial Rites and Fiend Hunter, he actually has quite a bit of time to just
just kind of mess around a little bit. I mean, even right now, as Fiend Hunter takes care of the Silverblade Paladin, it happened to be a 1-3 versus a 2-1 and a 1-1. I mean, pretty relevant stuff. But there's a Searing Spear over there for Joseph. So we'll see if Joseph's going to choose to pull the trigger on the Searing Spear on the Fiend Hunter. Problem is, of course, you know, Searing Spirit now. Okay, on Burial Rites at next turn. Get it back. So, you know, how great is the Searing Spear going to be? Doesn't seem to be very. So you're going to see a Temple Garden come to play on tap here for Joseph. Going to bring himself down to 15.
And that Cartel Aristocrat is, like, just actually pretty awesome for combat. I mean, Brian has a lot of control over the way that Joseph can attack here.
You are going to see attack with both creatures. Looks like we're going to see a Selesnya Charm here. So you're going to see a Selesnya Charm on the Nearhearth Pilgrim.
I guess the plan here is to induce the Aristocrat to sack and then Searing Spear in response.
And the thing is that the Aristocrat has no reason to sacrifice. It's a 2-2 versus a 1-1. So, if it's
well, you still get the Searing Spear if there's no other creatures in play.
That's fair. Yeah, that's completely fair. So there will be some lifelink happening here because those two guys are partnered up. Some small trades, some clearing up of the board. Pilgrim's going to stay tapped.
Yep.
Silverblade's going to come back here and just pass the turn back, so no reason to spear right now, as he can save the spear for the Fiend Hunter on the second go-around.
Yeah. But I believe Brian has another copy of Burial Rites in his hand, so it's just, especially when, you know, on a mulligan of 5 with no real pressure, it's just, these Burial Rites are just impossible to slog through.
He's going to hard cast the Burial Rites in his hand, because I think he'd rather have that one in the graveyard just because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I think he was weighing, is it worth Joseph knowing that I have another Burial Rites, but Joseph's so low on resources that you might as well be efficient. It's not going to change really Joseph's play at all because he has no resources to work with, so whatever.
So now you're going to see a Searing Spear here on the Fiend Hunter. And so what this is going to do, that's going to die. Okay, sacrifice that, give it protection from white. So Silverblade, you know, partnering up here, won't be able to actually jump in front of the Cartel Aristocrat.
Yep. We're going to get to make an attack here.
Yeah, I'm going to finally be able to deal some damage. In comes the Silverblade Paladin and the Nearhearth Pilgrim. This is going to be an attack for 8. And Joseph will gain 8 life. But again, with Fiend Hunter and Burial Rites looming in the graveyard, you know, the perfect draw for Joseph this turn would be Restoration Angel.
Yeah, I think his draw was a forest, but he's only down to the one. He's only got one Searing Spear left in hand.
So now we're going to see on Burial Rites going to target the Silverblade Paladin.
And I think Brian's wondering if he wants to stack the trigger and sack to the Aristocrat, which I think is what he's doing. He doesn't want to have to play around removal anymore.
Yep.
He just wants to. He's willing to give up a little bit of value on the board just to make sure that he doesn't lose the Fiend Hunter.
Yeah, and with the second Burial Rites in the graveyard, you know, if anything goes wrong, he can just, you know, do it again.
Yep.
Which you're going to see here. And now here comes the Aristocrat, knocking Joseph down to 24.
Yeah, and Brian can be confident there that the draw wasn't really Restoration Angel, because you probably would have seen it at some point during that sequencing.
So now you see Joseph play a 4. His last card in his hand is Cavern of Souls, so he is starting to draw a few too many lands. And obviously Brian's board position isn't great, but when you're ahead, you're ahead.
And he's got a ton of powerful draws. He's got any of his, and there's one of them right there.
That might be his best draw in this situation, as it lets him see the most cards for the least amount of mana. So Grizzly Salvage is going to turn over a Fiend Hunter, a Stomping Ground, a Huntmaster of the Fells, a Stomping Ground, and a Godless Shrine. Huntmaster is the easy take for Brian. Put the rest of those guys into the graveyard. And now his clock has been accelerated quite a bit.
Yep. And Joseph has no spells in hand, so that Huntmaster might flip too.
Yep. I mean, the tough part is obviously he has no spells in hand, but Brian can control it as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that Joseph does not have a spell in his hand right now. He's going to draw a card. Actually draws his own Huntmaster. But if you're familiar with the interactions when Huntmasters are in play, Brian being the active player right now, his Huntmaster's going to come in. All this favors him, so he can simply untap, draw, and pass the turn back. And his Ravager of the Fells will kill Joseph's Huntmaster before it actually gets to do anything. Assuming that Brian wants to make that play. You're going to see the Wolf token come across. You can tell as Brian is one of the designers of that Naya Humans deck that SCG Blue did play at Pro Tour Barcelona. Very familiar with this interaction as he passed the turn back very quickly. Restoration Angel, the draw step for Joseph this turn. And you're going to see an Angel of Glory's rise. And if it wasn't over before...
Yeah. Which it was.
Yeah, I think it is now. So we're going to see the quote-unquote combo begin to take place here. I think Brian's going to stack all of his triggers, let Joseph know exactly what's going on. You know, I'm going to eat this, it's going to come back, all those fun things. And Joseph is going to pack it up. Going to be down a game here as Brian Braun-Duan with Human Reanimator defeats Joseph.